Our keynote speaker for today is Jamie Manning. I asked him this morning how he'd like me to introduce him, and he said, well, New South Wales Ambulance saved my life in 2014, and I was 25k out of Dubbo and 3k from home, and I wanted to talk about it. So can we give a very warm welcome to Jamie today? He's our keynote speaker.
Thank you, Jackie. Hello, everyone. This turned on. First, I'd like to just say how honoured I am to be here today, to be able to stand in front of the people that saved my life, gave my wife a father back, gave three beautiful kids their father back. You want to feel yourselves, you want to be very proud of yourselves. And that's just to everybody involved too, not just the ones that were there on the day that saved my life. I was born in Scone, a little country town, where I played every sport that was around in that town. And eventually I, at the age of 15, decided I wanted to go on the countryside of life, move into rural, become a farmer. So I went away to ag college. And it's at ag college there I fell in love with a sport called rodeo. Now rodeo, I rode bulls. I travelled the world rodeoing, travelled Australia. I went to New Caledonia and Vanuatu teaching. But the reason I'm talking about this is rodeo actually taught me that no matter what obstacles come in front of you, be it a 1,000-kilo bull or something trying to kill you, with the right attitude and mindset, you can overcome all adversities. So it was when I was at college that I actually, at Tokel, I met my wife. I was 18 at the time, and from there on we created our life. And in 2014, I was travelling home from work. I was involved in a car accident. Now, just up the road from the accident was a husband and wife, lived right on the corner. Now, the wife said to the husband one day, she said, I think we should get some fire extinguishers and put in our car. He said, oh yeah, whatever. So this went on for 6 months, went on for 12 months, until eventually the husband got so sick of being nagged by the wife, he's come home with the fire extinguishers. He said, there you are, there's your bloody fire extinguishers, do what you want with them. So they had 3 cars amongst them. She sat the fire extinguishers on the front veranda, 2 fire extinguishers for 3 cars, deciding which car she's going to put the fire extinguishers in. Eventually, she got one and put in the husband's hunting vehicle. A week after that day, she put that fire extinguisher in the car. He was at work. He was waiting for a part to arrive to fix the farmer's plough that he's working on. He's a boilermaker by trade. The part never arrived. So he said to the boss, he said, look, the farmer's coming in the morning to pick the plough up. He said, how about I go home early now? It was about 4 o'clock. And I come back at daylight in the morning. When the part arrives overnight, I can fix the plough. The farmer can pick his plough up and go and plough his field. The boss said, that's a good idea. So husband goes home, gets home, does what most husbands do when they get home, sit down in the lounge, have a beer, relax. The wife's out in the front garden pruning the roses. She hears a bang. What was that? So she went inside and said to the husband, I think you better come out here. There's a big noise here. There's a car crash on the road. He said, no, don't be stupid. I've just weaned some calves. It's the calves in the cattle yards kicked the gate. So he goes and sits down, and she turns around and goes back out the front door. And as she opens the front door, she sees this big puff of smoke coming out from behind the trees. She said, shit, Brock, quick, come out here and have a look. So he races out, opens the door up, sees this smoke. So they put the shoes on, race down to the first car they get to and take off. Why I'm telling you this is just how things can just fall into place and be so lucky for you. They jumped in the hunting vehicle, the one with the 1 fire extinguisher in it. The other fire extinguisher still sitting on the veranda. Why did they jump in that one vehicle, not one of the others? That's just luck, I guess. They drive down the road, on the main road, it's right on the corner, it's on their boundary. Here's his car into a tree. So they jump out of the car and race over, and Brock gets to the car and he tries to open the door up, can't open the door, and the car is just full of smoke. They cannot see a thing inside that car. Don't know whether anyone's still in there, one person or two people. He yells out, he said, is anyone in there? I wonder who that person was in the car. Any ideas? Yeah, good guess, it was me. So I'm sitting there, I was passed out, and I heard this voice and it brought me to. I said, yeah, mate, someone's here, it's me, it's Dodge. He said, Dodge? And I recognised his voice then. I said, oh, Brock, is that you, mate? He said, yeah. I said, what are you doing? He said, I'm going to get you out. So his wife races back to the car, gets the fire extinguisher. Well, this time the flames are about a foot high in the centre console of the car. There's a ute. She uses that whole fire extinguisher on me alone, not on the flames, on me, trying to put me out. My face was alight, my arm, my legs, my clothes. After quite a struggle, I said to Brock, I said, mate, I'm stuck. Brock's actually raced back to the ute, come back with a knife, tried to cut the seatbelt off. I said, I'm stuck, mate. The motor's on my lap. We all know a motor weighs about 400 kilo. I was just trapped. No way I was getting out. He said, no, I'm going to get you out. I said, mate, look, best thing you can do, his wife's running around there, 9 months pregnant, about to have a baby that week, which is pretty special for me to think that they're pretty much giving their life away to save me. I said, mate, go, otherwise this car's going to blow up. You want to go down with me? He said, nah, I'm staying with you. So after a struggle, he managed the seat underneath me burn out enough to create enough room to pull me out. He had his foot on the door well. Now, Brock's about a 120 kilo man. As he's pulled me out, he's dislocated my hip, or I believe that's how it happened anyway, my left hip, trying to pull me out of the car. He's taken me away from the crash scene, about 50 metres, and he says within 90 seconds of pulling me out of that car, the car exploded. That's how close it was. So, as I'm drifting in and out of consciousness, he's put me on the ground, and I said, mate, can you put my hip back in? I said, I'm going to walk down the road here. I live 3 k's from the crash scene. My wife, Karen, because of the bull rider, she was always stitching me up or fixing a few injuries I had when I'd get home. I said, she'll fix me up. He looked at me, I'm sure he laughed or something. He said, no, mate, you'll be on me fixing you up. Oh, Karen fixing you up. He said, just lay there. I said, mate, don't be a pussy. Put my leg back in. I'm get out of here. Eventually, the ambulances arrived. A bit of a complication there was the lady that rang in for the ambulance to come, or rang in 000, said the crash was on Forest Road. Now, Forest Road comes out of Mendoran. The crash was at the Dubbo side of Forest Road, which is called Mendoran Road. So, I mean, that's just how things go. Eventually they got there, they sorted the differences out. Got me to hospital, saved my life, thank you very much. I went to hospital in Dubbo. My wife was at home, had tea on the table with the kids, and the phone rang. It was one of her friends who lives in Brocklehurst, which is about 12 k's from where the crash scene was. She said, Karen, is everything all right? Karen said, well, yeah, I think so. Why? She said, a couple of ambulances just went past, police car, fire. I don't feel right. Karen said, well, actually, funny you say that. Jamie was meant to be home. He's not home yet. I might go and have a look. So she told the kids to eat up, have a shower. Once they're fed, I'll be back in a minute. Jumped in the car. She's gone up the road. Okay, she's come over the hill, or she could see this smoke everywhere, line of cars. So she pulled up on the side of the road. She got out and she walked up the road. And the ute that I crashed had a big dog box in the back that I'd self-made. So it was pretty distinct. in the silhouette of the flames, Karen picked out my ute. She collapsed on the road. Her life was over. From that moment, she thought. And then there's two policemen standing down in the middle of the road with their arms crossed watching this car burn. She eventually gathered herself up a little bit and said, what are you doing? Like, you can't let him burn. They said, no, the ambulance has been, they've taken him away. He's not good, but he's at Dubbo Hospital. So my wife makes her way to Dubbo Hospital. Let's go back one little story. On our 13th wedding anniversary, I'd actually lost 3 wedding rings in our time. How come it's only the ladies laughing at this one? So on my 13th wedding anniversary, we actually had a holiday in the Gold Coast. I said to Karen, I'm going to get a new wedding ring. She said, no, you're not. She said, you've had 3. It's my turn to buy a new one. I said, no, look, I promise I won't lose it. So that morning I go down the street on my own, get it tattooed on my finger. I said, I won't lose this one. So now going back to the hospital where my wife's walked in the hospital, the first thing she's done, she's so loving and caring, she walked into the room, walked straight around the other side, looked at my finger, make sure it's still on there. Is this a reason she can get out of it, I guess? That finger was intact, not burnt. This is on this hand, or was a hand. The rest of the hand was black. I remember when I was in that car burning, I thought, shit, I can't lose this ring. Otherwise I'm going to lose my wife. So I put my thumb over that finger. As I passed out, every time I wake up, it was just still there. Maybe it burnt on there, I don't know. But so the wedding's the marriage is still intact, I guess. So eventually they say, oh look, we have to fly him down to Sydney, to John Hunter. Best North Shore, sorry, yeah, North Shore. That's why she's here, to prompt me. It's best you get in the helicopter with him, the aeroplane, because the amount of black smoke he's inhaled from the crash, his lungs are going to fail. There's a fair chance he won't make it to Sydney, and you want to be there when he dies. She said, no, the way he was talking at the crash scene, that's him. I know he's going to survive. So she decides to go home, sort the kids out, get someone to look after the kids, pack a bag. They fly me down to North Shore, thank you. They fly me to the airport. I get in a helicopter. They land me on top of the hospital. Now, that very first night, they take me into the emergency ward or emergency room. This blows my mind. The first time I heard this, there were 17 doctors in that room, standing there just wondering what they can do with this. We couldn't call it a person, he's burnt. He's pretty much lifeless. When my wife eventually got there, they told her the scenario. I was placed in an induced coma. As the days went on that week, my body temperature rose to 42 degrees. So as all paramedics and ambos know, once you get to 43, she's pretty much a grim story. The organs start shutting down and such. So I had a bad infection in my leg and my hand from the burns. They said to my wife, they said, look, to save your husband's life, he's been placed on a bed of ice, trying to get that core body temperature down. We don't see much of an option but to amputate, but we need your go-ahead. So if you want a bit of time to think about whether it's the right thing to do or not, cut his leg and hand off, get some time, then come back to us. So Karen says, straight away, she said, no. She said, what's the chance of him riding a horse with a leg the way it is, if he happened to survive? And he said, oh, well, that leg's going to be pretty much fused. It's just burnt right to the joint. Probably easy without his leg. But is this the right way you should be talking about this? She said, no, if it means he can ride a horse better without a leg, let's cut it off. Go home, think about it and come back. She said, no, take it off. So they pushed me into the emergency ward, or the operating room, theatre. wheeled me back out after, I don't know, maybe 12-hour surgery, I'm not too sure. They're going to see Karen. Oh, Jamie's there, you can go and see him. She didn't know whether, by this stage, they had to amputate or not. They're hoping to try and save it. So she walks in the room, and there I am, one leg, one hand. She took it quite well. And then over the next seven weeks, while in that coma, I ended up with about 100 operations or more. I'm not really sure because we won't go in that, and they'd do 3 or 4 procedures in the one operation. After 7 weeks, they finally brought me out of my coma. Karen's standing there, I just write, Jamie better say hello, how you going? The first thing I say, said, Karen, there's people here trying to kill me. I said, they're hiding underneath the bed with all the drugs I was on, the medication, hallucinating. So for that next week, I was trying to become normal again. But the doctors and nurses had come into my room as soon as they start their shift, have a talk to me. And I was actually known as the interactive comedy room. I always have a joke and I'd put them into their day. During the night, if they got a bit tired in the night shift, they'd come in the room, I'd give them some chocolates. And I built up a really good relationship with the medical staff, it just helped me get through it so well. So after a week of coming to, I said to the doctor one day, I said, how long have I got to stay in this hospital bed for? When can I go home? He said, mate, you're probably looking at 12 months before you can get home. You'll have to go through rehab. If you're lucky, so this happened on the 27th of March, the accident was around about the end of June. This conversation went on. He said, if you're lucky, you might be able to get home by Christmas for a week or two, then you'll have to come back down here. I said, Doc, I said, it's my son's birthday on the 17th of September. The 11th of September. I guarantee I'll be home for his birthday. I'll celebrate his birthday at home. As he walked out, he looked at Karen and he said, you just want to come up with, Jamie needs to come up with a more realistic goal. It's impossible. So after 2 weeks of coming out, or 3 weeks, they sent me to rehab down at Ryde, where I was there for a week. The first week, I was that set on getting better, getting home. I wasn't there to get better. I was there to get better quicker and get going. So I said, so where's the physio room? What do I do? How do I get going? How do I get fit? So they walked me around. They showed me how everything worked. This is the physio room. When it's your time, you'll come here. So the next morning, I get in the wheelchair, drag myself out of bed, which is a no-no. Wheel around to the physio room. 9 o'clock it opened. I was there at 5 to 9. I'm sitting there. Eventually they came and opened the doors up. Oh, Jamie, what are you doing? I said, I'm coming and do some physio today. They said, no, you're not. It's not your time. Go away. We'll come and get you when you're ready. The next morning I'd done the same thing. Got there at 5 to 9. Sat there as soon as the door opened. Jamie, nah. I did this 3 days straight. Eventually I went round after being knocked back 3 times, I went round to the nurse station. I said, look, I'm here to get better. I need to go to physio. I need to start it now. If I'm not doing physio by the end of the week, I'm going to sign myself out. She half laughed. She said, no, you can't do that. I said, yeah, rightio. So after the first week and a half, I'd done nothing. I went back to the nurse station. I said, I'm still here in my bed. No physio's been done. I need to get going. I'll give you another week. If nothing's happened by then, I'm out of here. 2 weeks goes by. 2.5 weeks goes by. I've done 2 sessions of 5 minutes in those 2.5 weeks. So I go back around to the nurse's station. I said, where's the doctors? I need some action here. She said, well, actually, the doctor's just there in a meeting. So I wheel around to this room. I stand there in this glass window, just sitting in my wheelchair watching these doctors have their meeting. And one of them eventually caught one of their eyes, looked around. I could see them start pointing at me, and they started half laughing. They knew what was going on. Eventually, it got the better of them. They got a bit uptight. One got up, opened the door and walked out. He said, what are you doing, Jamie? I said, mate, I've told the nurses, 2.5 weeks, if I'm not doing any physio, I'm out of here. I said, so where's a bit of paper? I'm sure there's a permission note that I can sign, I can leave, and no one's liable. He said, go back to your room, Jamie. He said, I'll come and talk to you. So he comes back around, after the meeting, comes back around about 2 hours later. I said, note? He said, no, Jamie. I said, go and get the note. If you haven't got one, go and make one up. Go and write one up. Off he goes. While he's gone, I've packed my bag up, packed the whole room, pulled the posters off the wall. I rang Karen up. I said, Karen, I'm out of here. You got to come pick me up. Hoping he's going to come back with a note or something. Eventually he comes back about 40 minutes later. He said, here, Jamie, here's your note. I said, you know you can't do this. I said, yeah, I can. I signed it. My wife come pick me up, and that was the best day of my life. Why? I knew what I wanted to do. I knew I had to get better, knew what I had to do to get better. I'm not saying the physios didn't know what was good for me, but my mindset was, I'm going to do this. I'm going to get going, get back to life. I've had the doctors already tell me that I probably wouldn't survive the flight down. I had a nurse in Sydney say that I'd probably never ride a horse again. I'd never go out in the sunlight again because of the burns. That was my life, riding horses, being outside and living. So to do that, I had to get going, had to get stuff happening. When Karen picked me up, we'd had a few things in place, had a few physios lined up, a few specialists in Sydney, upper limb specialist, lower limb specialist, actually been fitted with a leg. I was hoping to have it so I could run out of that rehab board, but that wasn't going to happen. When I got home on the 1st of August. So I was there for my son's birthday. I smashed every goal I'd had as far as getting home on the 17th. I'd smashed that. My next goal was to get riding a horse. So I'd done 12 months of physio in Dubbo here, 2-3 days a week, 1 to 2 hour sessions. And on the anniversary of that crash, exactly 12 months after, I said to Karen, go and sell that horse up. You sure? I said, yep. That was my goal. So she saddled up, jumped on the horse, rode around a little bit, just around home, jumped off it. And then it wasn't long after that, we had a phone call from Channel 9. One of the doctors in Sydney put us on to you, thought you were quite resilient, pretty passionate about what you want to achieve in life. Have you got anything a goal you'd like to set and achieve? In the meantime, my wife and I have been speaking about doing a horse ride, raising money for charity, for amputees. We decided to load some horses up, head out west to Tilpa, ride the horses all the way back to Dubbo. So just worked out that Channel 9 rang up. We said, well, this is what we've been planning. Will this suit? Will this work for you? Yeah, it will. So from that, we loaded the horses up, went to Tilpa, 600 k's, rode the horses home. I'm living, I'm out in daylight, I'm riding a horse. What couldn't be done? Well, it can be done. Obviously wear long sleeves, big hat, to be out in the sun, hard work, dedication. Here I am back living again. Wasn't meant to go back to work. Could be on the disabled pension, but wanting to make my way in life, pay my way. Actually have three jobs now. Work at the Sayards on a Thursday. Got a little truck, I do deliveries, and I work for a company, American company selling animal supplements. And my life's great. You know, I've got my wife, my kids growing up, being able to see them kids grow up. It's nothing better. And the ambos that were involved in getting me to that hospital in the first place, a big part of that was you. Thank you very much. I know you're sitting there listening to me. Can you stand up? Don't want to stand up or they're not here? Oh. There we go. It's the man there, one of them.
if you don't know Mick, Mick's one of the paramedics who pulled Jamie out.
Thank you very much. Let's send him a speech. Thank you very much, and much appreciate everything you do for everybody. Pat yourselves in the back. Thank you. Mike?
Just on behalf of the ambulance surgery, just a little tribute to your toughness, mate.
Thank you very much, mate.
And the good recovery you've made. I'd just like to say he's a tough guy, isn't he? You know, I've read a little bit about Jamie since all this happened, and he was one of the toughest rodeo riders in the game. And when I picked him up there that day, there was me and John Redfern, Jason Moffat, Wilbur Griffiths who assisted. He was curled up in the table drain, and they hadn't anywhere to put him but just in the dirt and the stones on the side of the road there. And he was semi-conscious, and he was just groaning, "I just want to die, just let me die." That's how bad he felt at that time. And it's just incredible to see the recovery he's made and the resilience that he demonstrates to all of us. And it's been a great experience to meet up with Jamie. I met up with him at the Lightning Ridge Rodeo a year ago, and to come back and see him talk today and hear more of the story, it's been great. For those who might be interested in the clinical treatment at the time, we didn't have enough water. Jamie was completely burnt down the left side of his body, his face, his scalp, everything was gone. We didn't have enough water. We were 10 k's out on the Manduran Road. We didn't have enough water to totally irrigate. So we used the hydrogel dressings, and we covered his face and all his burns. If we removed them to cool them again, he just screamed in pain because of the exposure to air. So we left them on until he got it to the hospital. I believe he was RSI and intubated almost immediately, and fasciotomies performed on his limbs, and then he was airlifted to Sydney that night. And I didn't actually think that I'd see you again, Jamie. That's how bad you were. But it was just a miraculous recovery. And it's great to hear you talk today.
Thank you. So great to be able to say thank you.